to this. Okay, you can type your answers, or yeah, I think it's better to just type your answers in our chat box here. So, teachers, which strategy do you think would work best for this situation? Okay, so the scenario is the student is looking somewhere else and is not really in camera view. What do you think would work here? Quick physical activity? Like you would ask them to stand up or like do some movements. Okay, let's go jump. Or you can pull up a song. You can switch to a different activity. Maybe if you're doing speaking activity, you can jump to a song, to a game, to a different activity. Or you can just call their name. Say, hey, are you there? All right, so what do you think? Becca says A. Okay. Yes, I think A and B would work here. Yeah. Sometimes C when they're older, like when they're 8 or 9, and then you would do a little, stern voice like, hey, Anna, or something like that. And then they would be like, oh, okay. But the younger ones, you need to do more than that. You have to have them move or like give them a song that they really like or give them a game so you could have them sit and within the camera view. All right, guys, thank you so much. Now, let us go to how this one here met time management. Actually, this is, I think, yeah, a lot of responses in the Google form mentioned time management and keeping lessons organized is one of the biggest challenges teachers face. Raise your virtual hand if you were one of them. This was me. To be honest, when I did not have the, organized lessons, it was very difficult because I have to like search this and that, and sometimes like I kind of like don't feel really fulfilled after a class because I'm just focusing on reading. Some areas have not been covered, like you know, pronunciation, spelling, writing, because those are very important too. What I found out is most of my students, they were not taught the correct phonics rules. And so when they read, they just guess. So if it starts with letter D, they don't read it. They just say D, A, and or DE. The word is delicious, but they would say dangerous. So that's how I can tell that they have not been taught the correct phonics rules. So when I did the spelling, when I started using spelling, that's also a way to teach them that, oh, okay, so there's actually a sound in every letter. D, danger, because they could like kind of see that, right? How do we spell danger? Danger. And I would sound it out. And I think that's a very helpful way for them to really read properly and not just guess the word. So let me go back to time management tips. Yeah, I mentioned I work, before it was very hard for me. When I was working for a company, we were required to finish the entire lesson in 25 minutes. So it was challenging. Sometimes it felt like I couldn't truly address the student's struggle because of the time pressure, but I always managed to finish on time because I had to. So I always have to watch the timer. And it wasn't easy at first, but it takes experience to do it naturally, and you just kind of it just happens. But if you're teaching privately, I think I want to know in the chat box, you can say if you're with a company or teaching privately, if you're teaching privately, you have the flexibility to pace your lessons according to your students' needs. And if you are with a company that doesn't have a structured lesson plan, take that as a blessing in disguise because it gives you freedom to focus on what the student actually needs to improve on. Right? So I just want to share let me share my teaching experience, how my teaching experience transformed when I switched from working for a company to teaching independently. So when I was teaching for a company, I mentioned there were rules, there were guidelines I had to follow, right? While it taught me time management, it was like I was rushing through the material instead of focusing on what my students actually needed. But when I became an independent teacher, everything changed. I became more thoughtful and intentional teacher because I had the freedom to truly focus on my students' progress. You know, instead of just racing to finish slides, I could pause, adapt, and personalize my lesson based on what each child needed to improve. I think it's, you can also set a calmer and more fulfilling and effective way of teaching. There's no pressure to just get through the material. Instead, I get to teach with purpose and actually see my students grow. And that is the best part, I think. You're not just, okay, all right, you click start and then, okay, you are not like present. You're thinking of, I need to be at, I need to finish the last slide. When then you're looking at your timer. So it's more like, oh my goodness. And you don't feel fulfilled because you're like, oh my gosh, let's say your student's name is John. John did not really know how to read, the ad sound, but you got to move on because you have to finish the entire thing. So one thing I love about English Bright ESL curriculum is that it's broken into clear segments. There's warm up, right? Warm up, song, review, vocabulary introduction, and all the way to the goodbye slide. Right? I don't know if all of you have subscribed to the website, but if you are, you're familiar to what I'm talking about, right? If you have the flexibility to go at your own pace, you don't have to rush everything. You can focus on areas where your student struggles. So what else? To stay organized also, I highly suggest you keep track of your lessons. So I do that. I have an Google Sheet. I do that on Google Sheet. So I write their names and I just I just make a quick note like continue sentence pattern practice, or I put the page number there, continue page 28 or something. And then when we meet again for the next session, then I just know where to continue, right? Also, you can prepare before class. If you're new to the material, I think it's important to do that. Before class, open up your lesson, take notes, and if there are even difficult words that you have never, because like in higher levels, there are lessons where teaching geography and there are like words from different countries that's just not familiar to you. So if you want to just do a quick Google search and how is this pronounced, then you can just do that. And that's a great way to actually be more organized. Another thing is, I think when you have clear transitions between activities, it's really good. Like I say, okay, let's move on to grammar, right? When you have a verbal or visual cue, it helps your student know what's coming next. It keeps the flow of the lesson engaging, right? So if you ever feel overwhelmed by disorganized lessons, I highly suggest investing in an interactive, no prep material or curriculum, like English Bright ESL. It's really worth it. It keeps lessons structured, it makes teaching less stressful, and most importantly, it leaves you feeling fulfilled, knowing your students are learning effectively. All right, let's go to our engagement part. Okay, I want to know your answers to this. Here, which lesson plan order do you find the most organized? Can you can write your answers in the chat box. So we have here first is introduce new vocabulary, review homework, play game, give a short quiz, warm up, and then song. Or number 2, warm up, review, vocabulary, and then the practice, and then you got speaking, and then game. And the last one, you start with vocabulary practice, you play a game, you give a short quiz, you do warm up, song, and then speaking. So what do you think? Number 2? Number 2, everyone's saying number 2. Number 2, let me look at that. Yes, you're good. You guys are great teachers. Yes, that's right. So we start with warm up, right? You just want to set a tone of this is going to be fun. This is going to be calm. You're going to be okay in my class. So let's do a little warm up. Song, question about their day. I don't know if you've seen or if you've used the level 0 materials. We have that part where we ask the students about how they feel. Like, how are you? How are you feeling today? And they have the gumballs, and I say, I am sad. I am happy. You know, it's a good way for you also, teachers, to kind of gauge what they feel. If they say, I am sleepy, and then you kind of know, ooh, I got to be really energetic here because this kid is sleepy, right? When they're hungry, they may, yeah, you can, it's kind of like for you to know what to expect. When they're hungry, they may not be so engaged because they're hungry, right? So it's very important that you have organized lessons. You have, you have the correct, what do you call that, order. And now, how do we boost students' motivation? Someone asked this one too. Where is that? Oh, it's right here. Okay, so before you know how to solve this problem, you need to identify the issue. Identifying student motivation issues. So the common reasons would be age. Maybe they're too young, short attention spans are natural for young learners. Do they need more movement or interactive activities? Some maybe are just bored, or maybe they think your material is too difficult, or maybe some are thinking that your material is not challenging enough for them. So if students find the lesson uninteresting or overwhelming, you need to adjust the pacing and then introduce engagement elements like the games or like, the GIFs, the movements on your presentation, right? And what else? Yeah, real world examples too. You can, if you think, oh, this student is kind of bored now, and then if you know the student's interest, then you could ask, oh, did you play basketball today? Something like that, if they like basketball. Or if it's a little kid and they like unicorn or something, you can ask about that too. Also, another reason why your student will show like no motivation in class is because they're just tired. Because some students are like super tired when they get to your class because they've I have one student, he's always tired. He's just like, when he reads, it's like, I want to go, 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 go. So frustrating sometimes. But then I learned the reason why he's doing that because he's too tired. He played basketball all day and he just wants to sleep. He would rest his head on his desk and it's very hard. He would try to engage, but it's just, he just it's very exhausted. You can do maybe a quick energy boost, like maybe have them move around. What I do is like, okay, Kevin, can you stand? Let's stand up. Or do you need water? Or I would also say, do you need to wash your face? You know, to freshen up. And so you don't want to fall asleep. You can make it a little fun too. You can just be funny. Yeah. So when you recognize these signs early, it will actually help you adapt to the lesson accordingly. So that's how you will keep your students engaged and motivated throughout the class. Yes. So I want to know if you could share your answers. Yes. Here, what strategies would you suggest to re-engage the student? Okay, let me share it. Is it here? Oh, I'm sorry. When your student is, not engaged, would you ask maybe simpler question, physical movement, or like have your student pick an activity? Marcel said number 2, physical. Yeah, that is very helpful. That's very, very good. All right, guys. Now, someone asked me this too. How can I be more lively, enthusiastic in my class? Right? I think I've kind of mentioned or kind of said some of the strategies you can do with this, creating an exciting atmosphere. I am naturally a very animated person. I like to laugh really loud, you know. But when I started teaching 3-year-olds at 4:30 a.m., yes, 4:30 a.m. because it was New York time and my students were in Asia, I have to really polish my upbeat tone. So, your facial expressions, that's right. I want to mention, you have to like when you start the class and you have like really young kids, you have to show your like, hey, it's like your face would kind of set the tone of the atmosphere in your classroom, right? So you have to really be upbeat. What else? Animated, right? Sometimes it could feel like a full body workout, especially if you have to like dance like the song that the little kids like, walking, walking. You got to clap and you got to show them that you're having fun as well. It could be really tiring, but it would work like magic. Yes. I want to share that with you here. Oh, I can't get to that. Where my student was jumping up and down, and where is it? Maybe it's this one. Let me try. Hopefully it's this one. If not, that's okay.
Stop, stop.
Oh, yeah.
And stop. Gonna stop, 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 and stop. Come on. Stop, 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 stop. Yeah. Stop, stop, stop. Yeah. Stop, 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 and stop.
All right. So actually, I did not plan on playing that song, but when I opened the camera and I started our class, she started jumping up and down and dancing. And so I was quick and I pulled up that song and she loved it. And she released the energy that she wanted to release. And then she was very, very engaged in the class. And it was very good for both of us. And I think, if you can just be so lively and just really be at your students' level, I think that is a great way to create exciting atmosphere, right? For older students, you don't want to get overboard, but you just keep on smiling. I did not know how important it is until I had a 13-year-old student, and she told me that she had never seen a teacher smile throughout the whole lesson, and that she said my constant smiling made her feel comfortable in class. And I don't know, I didn't even know that I was doing that, to be honest. Yeah. And so, yeah, if you can just smile and just, they feel, if they start being nervous and no confidence at all, your smile could make a difference. Like, oh, my teacher is so, it's just calm. It's just, I can be myself because I don't think she would judge me. She's there to teach me and guide me, right? So I think that's very important. If you set a tone like it's okay to make mistakes, it's fine. This is the perfect place for you to make mistakes. If you don't know this word, you can say, I don't know this word, teacher. So I think it's good to assure them that it's okay. So the 3-year-olds, yeah, I think I've mentioned this, just act silly. You build rapport by making them laugh. If they laugh, you have to laugh even louder, right? If they're silly, you kind of like be more silly than them. And yes, secret is singing, movements, games, the songs. So the songs are very, very, very important. And you also have to take note of this, because my student would always say, I want to sing na 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 na. She doesn't even know the words. She would just go na 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 na. Yes, I do. She likes the song. Do you like broccoli? Do you like ice cream? She really loves that. So I use that song in teaching new vocabulary when I know she does not want to participate. So if our vocabulary is even not about food, if it's about weather, so I would go, do you like sunny? I want her to say the word sunny. And that's a great way for my students to say it. And I think very effective. Do you like rainy? And then if she doesn't say it correctly, I have her, can you say it again? Do you like rainy? Yes, I do. Do you like windy? And then we would act out like, windy. Shh. So you have to take note of what ignites your students' interest, what they like. Because important, important, important. You have to make learning feel like play, and you'll have them engage in no time. So I want to know if you have your favorite songs. No, your students, your 3-year-old or your older students' favorite songs. Can you share? Wait, okay. Where's the chat box? Okay, I got it here. Losing your voice. Oh, I want to share. Oh, Three Little Monkeys. Yeah. Yes, that's right. Yes, that's good too. You replace monkeys with the word that you want them to say. Actually, yeah. All right. So that's a great, yeah. Three Little Monkeys. Do you like broccoli? Who took the cookie? They love that. You can replace the animals, or um who took the cookie from the cookie jar. You can say just anything. Like if you're teaching about parts of the house, who took the cookie from the cookie jar? Living room took the cookie, and they like that, right? It's funny. Yes. What else? Oh, one little, two little, three little, la la la. One little, two little, three. If you're teaching about fruit, one little, two little, three little mango. One little, little, two little, three little avocado. Yes. So the songs is great. If they don't want to repeat or do anything, have them sing, but then you have to incorporate the vocabulary that you're teaching or the topic that you're teaching, right? Okay, now this one also was asked. Someone asked how to be more confident in teaching. This is a very good question. But to be honest, this is a tricky topic to explain because confidence isn't something you magically get, right? It's something you build over time. And I think I want you to be, you have, even if we're teachers, we are still learners too. Every class you teach helps you grow. And with experience, you naturally become better and more confident. And also, I learned that when you love what you do and genuinely enjoy teaching, confidence will come naturally, right? If you're looking for like if you question yourself and like, oh, blah blah blah, I don't feel confident. Even if you don't feel confident yet, act like you are already. You know, I don't know if you've heard that phrase, fake it till you make it, right? Because when you enter the classroom, you got to act like you're confident because then your student would sense like, oh my gosh, my teacher actually is not very confident. And so how can you make your student feel confident if you are not? So you just fake it. If like, you know, you like can just you can hide it by just being funny. That's a great way too. So yes, but then how do you be confident in class? If you want, you know, the practical answers, you have to know the lesson well. So you have to prepare, review the topic. Like I mentioned earlier, you check the vocabulary words because there are tricky words sometimes that we've never seen. If you're teaching about words from France, you know, there are words like bray, you know, they say it differently. So you can just go do a quick Google search on how to pronounce that correctly. And then you can also, if you are caught in a situation where you don't know how to say it correctly, oh, how do you say this, you know? And then, but you have to be quick. You go to Google and do a little search how to, and then while you're kind of like, I don't know how to say this, you know, and I don't know how to say this either. So yeah, you can just do all those things. And also, what else? You need to be ready with a backup plan. It's not necessary, but I think if you've done this so many times, you just know how to do it. So if one activity doesn't work, have another way to engage your student, right? Okay, she's not wanting to repeat this. So let's do the song magic, right? And then again, you need to be gentle with yourself because we need to embrace imperfection. Even, you know, after teaching thousands of minutes to students from all over the world, I still have moments where I question myself. And that's okay. You know what's the biggest confidence killers? One of the biggest confidence killers. What is it? Comparing yourself to other teachers. Yeah. Every teacher has different strengths. And then the only person you should be comparing yourself is to your past self. Comparison doesn't help. Especially nowadays, we have social media, TikTok. You see a lot of teachers there, you know, posting how good they are in teaching, posting how many students they have, doing a screenshot of how full their schedule is, and this and that, screenshot of how much they earned, blah, blah, blah. You know, it doesn't help. It would either give you false confidence. False confidence, I mean, like, when you see maybe a teacher that just started and you've been teaching for quite a while, of course you're going to be a better one, right? And that's false confidence. If you see a video, whatever, a post, that would make you feel inadequate. Because, you know, no matter how great you are, there will always be someone better. And that's just life. Yeah, instead of worrying about that, Focus on becoming the best version of you, because confidence doesn't come overnight. But if you love what you do, like what I mentioned earlier, and show up consistently, it will naturally follow. The universe will provide you with all the tools you need if you're open to receiving them, okay? So be patient and stop scaring yourself. Never, ever compare yourself to other ESL teachers. You focus on your own growth. You are unique. You are, important. Your students like you. You bring value to your students, and you are an amazing, amazing teacher. So just affirm it, believe it, and own it. All right. Oh, Lynn, what is that? Lynn asked, how do you handle a student when their mom is sitting beside them? Okay, that's a good question. I've had this happen many, many times. So I think it's okay when it's maybe the first 3 sessions. That's okay. Mom can be there. Lynn, I want to ask you, is mom coaching? Is she like correcting the kid? If she is, I would mention that to the parents. I would say, if we do the correction at the same time, it's very confusing for the student. Because sometimes the parents are saying it incorrectly, right? That's so frustrating. I just laugh it out actually, like, oh my, but it's kind of frustrating. Like they correct their kids before you do, right? Sometimes it's funny. It's like, why are you even sending your child to learn with me if you're actually teaching him? So yeah, I think it's okay the first 3 sessions. How old is the student, Lynn? If very young, I think more than 3 is necessary, because sometimes they would just walk away, or yeah, they're not going to be in the camera view. But if they're like 8, 7, 8, I think after 3 or even 2 sessions, they can be independent. They can be doing the class on their own. 6 years old, okay. Depending on the how short the attention span. If Okay, this is what you can do. So what I do is I say, hi, Mrs. Blah blah blah, this and that. I think in our next session, your student's name is Alex, let's say. I think it's very good for Alex to attend the class on his own. You can assure the parent, I will send you a text if I need you. If Alex starts to lose focus, that's what I would say. And, they just want assurance too that they're not wasting their money when the kid is not paying attention. So yeah, that's what you could do, Lynn. Thanks for that question. And Geraldine, you're welcome. Okay, yeah, so wow, I know we said 30 minutes, but this is like over an hour now. Okay, so yeah, this is really exciting. And I'm really happy. There's a lot of questions we did not really. Um, is there more questions? Yeah, guys, I want you to like look at this here. These are affirmations. You can pick one and type here in the chat box, or you can say it out loud in your head, and it will happen. Okay, keep on saying it. All right, so now is all right. If you have any more questions, no, I don't know how to do that. All right, do you have any more questions? Maybe we can. I'll stop my sharing here so I can see your comments and stuff. All right. So who's that? Someone raised their hand. Who was it? You can talk or you can type your question here. That was Mr. Estabillo. Stabilo. Yes, what's your question? Mr. Estabilio? Or I will just here, Steph said, Teacher Joy, should the student access the resources on their own? Okay, how old is your student, Steph? What do you mean access? Like give them the ability to write on the screen? Or move the elements that are movable? Is that what you mean by that? If you have that option, I think it's good because the student is 10. So, they would understand if they get too carried away with a pen and just scribble and scribble. You can tell them, okay, stop scribbling, and they would just listen to you. And it would add more fun to them. The pen, like if you have like matching. Yes, the homework. Homework, you can give that to them. So let me show you how I do it. If you go to a particular lesson, Steph, you could see the homework right at the left-hand corner. I'll share my screen quick here. Right here. So when you go to, let's say, colors, it's pretty slow. Hold on a minute. Can you see that stuff like under the main lesson? There's homework there. Okay, I got my screen ready. This is a homework part right here. So here's the homework. What you can do is you can do click copy, and then however or whatever ways you communicate with a parent, you just paste that and say, this is Jane's homework for today. Another way to do that is, wait, you can go click view. It will open up a new tab. You can copy it this way. Oh, you don't see that. You don't see what I'm doing right now. But you can go view, and then it's just basically the same way. So yes, what I do is I send this after not right after the class, but like, yeah, if you have back-to-back classes, then that would be difficult, right? All right, Steph. You're welcome. Yes, Nika, what's your question?
Hi, Teacher Joy.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much. I just would like to ask, how do you
Mm-hmm.
effectively engage disinterested teenage students? This is a common challenge that I face in class.
Teenagers? Is it, have you identified the reason? Like just, it may not be accurate, but why do you think the student is
Like,
disengaged?
like they're usually bored in class.
All right, you know what? How old again? I'm sorry.
Usually around 14 years old, 15,
Mm,
16, something like that.
yeah. And it's a boy, is it?
Yes.
Yes, usually this age, they're just. I have a 14-year-old. He started being like that. But then I kind of like started showing him that we're actually friends. Like, I think you kind of like ask this kid his interests, like, what did you do today? Sports or computer games? Or this student of mine loved filming things. And so he would be so excited to show me what he's done. And then, oh my God, you gotta show your interest level of what they are interested in should be really high. So like, oh wow, teacher, actually, I am being heard here. And yeah, I think if you know exactly what they like, you show them that, oh, it's just that's really interesting, this and that. And they you would give them a sense of like, oh, she can be a good friend, actually. I'm gonna go back to my class next time. Yeah. Are you using a particular material for this student?
Yes, Teacher Joy. We have our own material.
Okay. Do you have to use that really? Is that a requirement? Or can
Y-
you?
yes po, but we also do free talking sessions. But
Okay.
yeah, that's the common struggle I face in class with him.
Yeah. If you have to, if it's like one of the rules, then I think if you can just when you have free talk, and yeah, the free talking that you get, take that as a chance to know the child. And yeah, I think it's important to really know them, what they like. Yeah, especially if you're working for a company that you have to follow guidelines. You have to be creative. Creative means if you have a time to free talk, then that's the time for you to know him. And then, oh, if you have that answer, then that would be a ticket to keep your student not be bored in class. And I think you just have to show this child you can be a friend to him because he's pretty old, right? It's like you listen, and yeah, I think knowing them is and really showing how interested you are at what they are interested in. I think that's what I do. That is effective. All right. Okay, this is how do you read your name? Sism? Sism Estabilio. Do you have any advice regarding a parent who insists that their daughter can handle an advanced English lesson? However, based on my assessment in class, she struggles to learn and is not ready for that higher. You have to be honest. I know. Yes, it's so funny that we actually all share challenges. Because yes, I can totally relate to this. They want, oh, I want my student to be in level 4, but they're still in level 1. I'm sorry. It is kind of like usually the way I see this, the parent actually is ha, have like the pressure of other parents, like maybe, oh, my child is in level 4 now, what about your kid, and they can't really, they don't want to say that the kid is still in level 1, but you need to be honest, because you have to say that I can't teach them higher level because they may lose interest. It's too difficult for them. It's beneficial when I teach your child on level material, because when you're learning a new language, we need to build confidence. So confidence first, and then you actually focus on the different skills of English. So just be honest, Sisam, and they would respect that because you are the teacher. Most of these parents, really, they would just say it, but when you explain to them, they would say, "Oh, okay, teacher. I trust you, teacher. Thank you. I feel better now." Yeah. So they just need assurance too. Here we have Geraldine, 13 years old. She requests to have free talk, but she's quiet, shy, share something in class. Difficult for me because it's free talk class. Free talk class. Okay. Yes, I understand. It's kind of like you don't want to be in class, right? Because you don't know what to talk about that would make this child talk. 13. Shy. I think it's kind of like related to who asked that question? Steph's question. You need to know the kid's interest. What does this kid like? Does she like animals? Does she like traveling or whatever? And another way to do this, because the learners, modeling is very important to them. So if you ask a question and they do not talk, so let's say your question is, "Oh, what sport do you like to play?" and there's no answer, you can answer. You can show them how to answer it. "I really like playing basketball." "Yeah, I like playing basketball." And this, you can do a little story, and then you'd say, "What about you? Do you like playing basketball?" So you start with a yes or no question first, and then they say yes. "Oh, when do you play basketball?" And there's no response, right? "Monday. I like playing basketball every Sunday." Yeah. So I think, Geraldine, you need to kind of know your student first. This is a process, like even now I have a student, I always have to remind him that it's okay. You have to use your words, because they just like one word answer. Like, "What did you do today?" "School." "How are you?" "Good." No, say it in a complete sentence. And then I would type it on the screen so they actually see it, and I will have them say it again. "Okay, say it again." And then I would ask the question again. "Okay, and read the answer. How you should be answering that. Complete sentence. Let's use our words." Right? You have to be gentle with this student because you mentioned very shy. Yeah, it's a process. It may take several sessions for her to. Geraldine, I have a question. What's the level of this student? Okay, so she could actually say sentences, right? On her own. Yeah. All right. Also, another tip is this kid doesn't want to talk at all sometimes. You can do the role playing. So you read, ask and answer, because you're still kind of like building their confidence. So it's good to have, ready-made sentences for them to read. And while you are doing that, you have to remind the student about how to say it correctly. Sometimes they would just read it like, "How am I going?" Yeah, I always have to cut them. Like, "No, no, let's read it like this. How are you today?" you have to be strict with how they say the words of fluctuations. I would model it by, like, if they are Chinese, you don't say like ni hao, right? You have your own music, ni hao, and they would understand that. So you could start with that, Geraldine, and then you can mention it to the mom, and you said, it's hard to do a free talking, because I think what the problem here is the confidence. I want to build her or his confidence first before we can really just do free talking. And the mom would understand that. And the mom would say, oh, you really know what you're doing, right? Yes. Let's see. Who else? I am just. Oh, actually, we have that. This is from Unique. Oh. Um, we have that on our website. It is right here. Oh, I'm not sharing my. I'm not sharing my screen. Wow, really? Okay. So you go to resources, and okay, let me see. Is it FAQs? Oh yeah, yeah. We don't have the ages here, but I think it's right here. You go to FAQs, and here. Can you see this? So you got the ages here.
Yes, I see that.
Okay. Right here.
I'm looking.
Oh, thank you, Teacher Joy. I've just seen that.
All right. You're welcome, Unique. What else? We have
You're not gonna talk, okay?
Louisa. What are some effective strategies for keeping a group of 3 kids
Thank you.
focused in class?
Give me that phone. The one over there. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Wait a minute. I'm kind of
Which
distracted.
minutes?
Where the voice is coming from. All right. Here it is. All right. Okay, the question here, what are some effective strategies for keeping a group of 3 kids focused in class? You know what? I think if you have a group class, you could make it really fun, because you can yes, it's okay, system. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. I know this has taken longer than we
Thank you, Sissa, for
expected.
joining.
All right. So I think how to keep them focused. You have to give activities for, like, taking turns, Okay, so let's say Lucy will read the first sentence. This, or you can start with, who wants to go first? Of course, they would say me, me. Yeah. So then you have to pick who goes first. So taking turns, and doing reward the student that participates, so that others would see that, and they would do the same. Okay, you're welcome.
Thank
you, Teacher Joy.
Louisa has a question, I think. Oh, that
Yeah,
was her
that's the question. Yeah.
And
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so I think we can do one more question. How about that? And if you have any more questions, you can just, email us or send us a message, and then we could answer that on our live session. Or yeah, if you're a subscriber, we could even, speak with you.
yes, Teacher Marcel, we will get like a certificate out to you right after class, Joy.
Yes. Someone is actually gonna be doing that. Yes.
Now, Natty has a question, Natty.
Natty, I'm a new ESL tutor and I'm having a hard time finishing the material, especially if the student is late. Oh, what part should I focus on? Being late. You have to correct that. You have to tell the parents, how old is this kid? If they are able to understand, well, okay, so tell the kid, they have to be on time because that factor would really kind of throw off the class. Okay, I know everyone has 1 p.m. class here, and maybe everyone wants to get their lunches
Thanks,
or something.
Geraldine.
Lunchtime. Geraldine, thank you very much. Okay, happy teaching. So I think, Natty, focus on the kids' tardiness. Mention to them, how important it is to be on time because you have to, like, how long do you teach this student for? An hour? 25 minutes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a problem. Yes, I mentioned it to the student and then I mentioned it to the mom. I that just happened to me like last week. 25 minutes, but the kid was not late. They just said the iPad just turned off or something. Yeah. So I told the mother that, the iPad ran out of battery. I cannot handle her class online because the quality of this class won't be ideal. Yeah. And then you say, I cannot extend the class because I have another class right after this. Yeah. And they would just understand that. Yes, that's right. Paid training. Teacher Eileen is asking. Yeah, someone would do a follow-up on that, Teacher Eileen. If you can, maybe you can do a chat or personal message on Facebook or whatever, and so we can email you or something. Yes. Okay. Well, guys, thank you. I know I'm sure there are some more questions that we can talk about. We may be able to do this sometime, some other times too. I appreciate you for being here and really for this is a very good, we need a community like this. I remember when I was a new ESL teacher, there was really it's nice to be able to share challenges like, oh my gosh, so she also has this challenge, like all the questions I have actually encountered, and I would say I've found solutions to those questions that I've tried and tested. And so, yeah, it's just good. Thank you for being here. Now, I would like to introduce Kent here. He is from our marketing department, and he has something exciting to share with you all. All right. Okay, Kent, say hi.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining. And I know it's been a long call, so we do appreciate all of everyone's time. So I just wanted to mention one thing. I don't know, some of you may be subscribers and some may not, but what we do have is it's an affiliate program. So if you know other teachers or you know of a ESL school or a company that may be interested in our resources and they subscribe, so we give you a unique coupon code. So you give the coupon code to another teacher, and if they subscribe, and then we will pay you. And the same with
All right, guys. Thank you. Wow. Thank you for really sticking with us for an hour and 35 minutes. Yeah, and I am very, very proud of each of you for being here. You know, just by being here, it's actually um it means that you are serious and you love what you're doing, because it takes a big heart to shape little minds. Yeah, sometimes it's we don't really what do you call that? We undervalue ourselves sometimes, because I know, you know, there's a lot of stereotypes. Oh, yeah, just an ESL teacher. But it's you know, people can give the judgment, but when they actually do what we're doing, they're gonna understand how much we help kids. We actually help kids to communicate and to have, you know, to travel the world and be able to communicate with people all over the world because of you. You taught them English, especially if you're the first teacher. If you are their first English teacher, that is very meaningful. Yes. All right. Okay. Well, I don't feel like ending this. But guys, please check your email. Hope you have your email in that form that you filled out. We'll be sending you your certificate along with a discount coupon for the English Bright ESL curriculum. I hope you guys will you know, gain something from this. I really do. And hope to see you guys around, okay? You have a good rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys. Thank you. Have a wonderful day and smile and be happy. Happy teaching. Bye bye.